Hi there, Sherry Schreiber with Naked Truth Videos. Well, I don't exactly know where this is going today, but I hope it'll be entertaining if nothing else. I just finished washing and detailing my car. Now, I have an old Volvo and I love this car. It's been such a good and loyal vehicle for me, and I really do adore it. And I'd come back from my mechanic and it was so dirty, and my car usually never gets this dirty, but it had been left out over the long holiday weekend when it broke down prior to, and when I went to pick it up, it was just yikes. I mean, filthy. I garage my car, so it usually doesn't get that bad. But I don't use detergent on my car. I just wash it down with water and use a sponge or a little nylon scrubber, and that way the paint holds up longer. But anyway, I did some detailing on it. I even rubbed out a couple of scratches that had happened while it was at the mechanic. And cleaned the hubcaps and all that stuff, and vacuumed inside, and used some stuff to deepen the tone on the plastic outer parts. I mean, I really went to town on it. Had I planned to? No. It just, that momentum, once I started, kind of carried me through. And I did a fantastic job. Good dog. Good dog. What a gal. Remember, give yourself strokes. And I'm pretty proud of myself for as much as I got accomplished today. So I wanted to talk to you, this spawned my wanting to talk to you about working with your hands. And it's therapeutic. So if you have a job that requires a lot of mental focus, you have to be on top of your game a lot of the time, mentally, cerebrally. It's really important that you give yourself time off to work with your hands, play with your hands. So whether it's gardening or washing your car or knitting or painting or sculpting. I don't care if you pick up some Play-Doh, like you'd give your kids, and start making little figures with it, abstract or realistic. I don't care. But it's really important for you to work with your hands. Now, this can be housework, this could be dusting. This could be cleaning out the refrigerator. I don't care. But it's really, really healthful, and it's beneficial, and it is also therapeutic, and here's why. Your right lobe of your brain controls your left body functions, and your left lobe of your brain controls your right body functions. So when you're working with both sides of your brain, both lobes are engaged, they can talk to each other. It kind of creates a sort of an open highway for the left lobe, which is basically your practical functions. Pragmatic, practical, mathematical, pragmatic functions. And that's the side of you, your left brain, sometimes thought of as the masculine side, that controls the right side of your body. This left side of your brain has good common sense. It's rational. And sometimes when we're in trauma or we're in chaos, the right brain is holding trauma. The right brain is responsible for creativity, feelings, some intuitions going on in there, and typically artistic people, creative people, function more from their right brains than their left. So, the left brain controls the right side of the body, our masculine self, our pragmatic, practical, logical self, and the right brain controls the left side of the body, the creative, the feeling side, the part that holds trauma. The right lobe of your brain is the part that holds trauma. So when we're working with both sides of our body, pardon me, I'm watching myself too much today. When we're working with both sides of our body, it engages both lobes of the brain because it has to. Because if something happened to your right brain, your left side of your body, parts of it would be paralyzed, and vice versa. So working with both hands, building stuff, gardening, working on your car, doing mechanical things, repairing things, creating art with your hands, drawing, anything that engages both sides of your body, both hands, is going to be nourishing for you. But the most important part of this is it enables your subconscious to work stuff out for you. We've grown up thinking, most of us, I think, that we have to figure everything out in our conscious mind. This is not true. The subconscious mind is responsible for, well, basically all our decisions and choices. It really kind of runs the show. You can say you want to do something until the cows come home, but if you're not doing it, there's some kind of subconscious fear there or trepidation that's holding you back. So your subconscious mind, which, I don't know, in my experience working with psychologists in my practice, it's frightening how few of them have even been exposed to the subconscious. I wasn't exposed to it when I went back to school to get my 2 degrees in psychology 1,000 years ago. And it's just, but I knew about the subconscious. I've always known about the subconscious somehow. And I've known that it's a very important part of us. And this is the part of us that it functions to bring us dreams and help us sort through problems and issues and dilemmas. I used to date an investor for about a minute or two. And this guy was much, much older than I. But we dated for a little while. And he used to tell me, when I'm struggling with a problem investment-wise, I take a nap. And when I wake up, I always have the solution. Well, so your subconscious mind needs an opportunity to chew on things for you. And hopefully I'll get to explaining to you the difference between cogitation and procrastination in this video, but maybe not. Maybe I'll save it for another one when I'm talking about attention deficit disorder. Features. But anyway, the subconscious is on call all the time. It's thinking for you all the time. It never sleeps. It never rests. It's your best friend. It's always working out problems for you. It's always helping you make decisions. It's always on board helping guide you through your life. It just needs time to do its job for you. So if your conscious mind is constantly involved with thinking about stuff and you don't give it a rest, it interferes with your subconscious characteristics that are wanting to help you sort problems through and work them out and come up with solutions. Sometimes stuff will come to me just as I'm falling asleep. Years ago, when I was doing my public access videos, I was producing and hosting my own cable show for public access. I couldn't think of a name for that show, and it just drove me kind of nuts. And I just finally decided to relax and figure, well, I'll come up with it eventually. And boom, my subconscious delivered it to me. It was an interview show. It was really lots of fun. And the name that popped in for me was Speakeasy. Had a nice little play on words, and it was perfect. When I was trying to think of an alternate domain name besides sherryschreiber.com, and friends of mine were having me on their radio shows and saying, tell people your website. And I was, like having the very unpleasant task of spelling out sherryschreiber.com, which, I'd rather have bamboo shoved under my fingernails. I thought, I've got to find a domain name that's simpler, that's easier to remember, that's easier to write down. And I wrote down dozens of domain names, and every single one of them was taken. Even Ask Sherry with my name spelling. Somebody bought it. So I sat there and I thought, okay, what are you about, Schreiber? I mean, what are you really about? What is your site really about? What is it representing? What does it do, essentially? And the name Getting Better, it's all about getting better, popped in for me. And I was pretty sure, after exploring dozens of web domain names, that this one was probably taken. And lo and behold, it wasn't. I was shocked, but I was delighted. So I called up my domain registration people, where I had my website at the time, and I said, okay, I want a new domain name. I want this to be a parked domain, and it's gettingbetter.com, and I give me .net and .org while you're at it. And the guy said, oh, I'm sure that's taken. And I said, yeah, I thought so too. He looks it up, he punches it in, and it's available to me. And it was kind of like it was meant to be. But I had to give my subconscious mind a chance to chew on it. And this is just what came through. So your subconscious wants to help you figure stuff out and help you with solutions to problems and help you figure out how to go about something. And it's just the most brilliant part of us. So give it a chance to work for you, not against you. So as I'm doing all this work on my old Volvo today, this came to me. I really wanted to talk to you about working with your hands to, first of all, give your conscious mind a rest, because especially when you're detailing your car, you're really into it, You're hyper-focused on the details and getting all the dust out of little crevices and things like that. And while you're engaged in that activity, your subconscious gets to chew on all kinds of stuff. You don't know what's happening. You don't know this is going on for you. It's going on in the background all the time. Your subconscious never sleeps. Your conscious mind, hopefully, sleeps. For some of us, for probably some of us, that's never true. And that's a great pity. But your subconscious never sleeps. It's constantly working for you. It's your best friend. So give it a chance. You're struggling with a problem, an issue? Take a nap. Go do something with your hands. Go out into your garden and pick weeds. Doesn't matter. This is going to be really useful and helpful to you. Also, engaging the right and left brain. This is used in EMDR techniques. Now, if you've never heard of EMDR, it stands for Eye Movement Desensitization and Reprogramming. This is often used to treat post-traumatic stress victims. Unfortunately, it doesn't really do the trick for core trauma. You have to have a different kind of intervention for that. But let's say I've experimented with it. I've never really been trained in it, but I went to an EMDR therapist once upon a time. I swear to God, I was so regretful I ever paid her for that session, because she really didn't do any EMDR with me during that session, but she explained in detail how it worked. And that was worth the price of admission. So over the years, when I've been working with clients who are trying to recover from a trauma, let's say, they've been in a severe car accident and they are phobic about getting out into traffic and driving again. And this is very natural post-stress reaction. I said to them, look, there's a technique I know about. I am not trained in this technique, but it's been explained to me. And if you like, we can try it here. And while you're reviewing the accident and talking to me about it, we're going to try this technique if you're willing. And what have we got to lose? Maybe it will help dismantle this phobia of yours, and maybe it will not. But what have we got to lose? And what I've had them do is, while they're retelling their story to me, just follow my finger with their eyes. Right and left, and right and left, and right and left. And as they're talking to me about their trauma, just moving their eyes this way and using the brain to help them do that, it diffuses their trauma. And they're no longer phobic about getting out on the road and driving. Now, you can do this for yourself. You can walk around, you can pace. You can walk around your block thinking about a difficult matter, and let your eyes drift left and right as you're walking. Just left, and right as you're walking. You're using both sides of your body, remember? Both lobes of your brain are being used to accomplish this activity. So you're allowing basically your left brain, logical, practical side of your brain to step into the highway in between it and your right brain and talk to your right brain and diffuse some of that trauma for you. This is really helpful. Or if you're sitting, you can pat one knee and then the other, and then one knee with your right hand and then the other with your left hand. Or you could raise one heel off the floor and put it down, and then the left heel off the floor and put it down, and then alternate with the right heel off the floor and then put it down. All of these techniques, engaging both lobes of your brain, are going to help you diffuse trauma, hurt feelings, because remember, the right brain's your feeling side, and it needs the voice of reason talking to it. Your left brain is your voice of reason. Think about it that way. And perhaps that can be useful and helpful. I'm trying to think, do I want to tell you anything more about this? Really, I didn't expect to get into all this today, but, once you wind me up, you can barely stop me. So, yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. Work with your hands, especially if you have a cerebrally demanding job. If you're working with your head all the time, if you're too busy in your head, obsessive thinking, get out of your fucking head, be in your body, mold some clay or Play-Doh with your hands. Doesn't matter if you hate it, you can squash it down and start all over. Wash the dishes. Even that's useful. Just don't have your mind 1,000 miles away from where your body's standing. Just be in that activity. Whatever you're doing, you're putting your makeup on, don't have your head 100 miles away from what you're doing. Just put your mascara on, put your eyeliner on. I'm talking to you gals out there. Well, some of you guys maybe too. But just be in the activity. Be in the motion of it. Be present with it. Whatever it is you're doing. You're going to, first of all, find that you're more relaxed. A lot of your stress will leave. And secondly, you're not going to be as tired all the time. Because I guarantee you, folks, 1 hour of obsessional thinking and heavy-duty brain work is more fatiguing than 10 to 20 hours of hard physical labor. I swear to you it is. So get out of your head, be in the moment, be with what you're doing. Put a jigsaw puzzle together, okay? But turn the conscious mind off. Let your subconscious chew on stuff for you. Bring you solutions. Help you fix your problems. You're going to be a lot better off and a lot happier and a lot more relaxed. Bye for now.